Hi, Matt with eTrailer. Today we'll be talking about Glacier Chains tire chains with the V-bar links on our 2021 Ford Explorer. And today we're going to have this on our rear axle, as what their manual recommends, and our tire size is going to be 255/55 R20. So these chains are going to be excellent for if you're going through a lot of deep snow or ice or any extreme weather conditions. Now let's take a closer look at them. Now what's going to give you that excellent grip through snow and ice is not only going to be this twist to the links, but also these V-bars on top. That's what's going to give you the majority of the bite. And this is going to be constructed from a low carbon steel. And we're going to have this laddered pattern. And that laddered pattern is going to provide more traction when you're driving forward. And then at the center of it, we're going to have multiple cams. And what these cams are used for is to get that extra tension out of the chains. These chains are going to come two to a set, and they're going to come in this pretty light duty bag. It is kind of made of this material that does feel weather resistant, or water resistant at least. Now I will say, if you have this for more than a season and you are using these quite a bit, this probably isn't going to last you the whole season. So what I'd recommend doing is investing in a small tote to keep your chains in. Overall, this is going to be a great choice for you if you see yourself going through a lot of deep snow and ice conditions. Now, if you want something a little bit less extreme, maybe the conditions aren't that bad, we also have other options, especially for Glacier Chains. We have some, even without the V-bars, that have a lot of that aggressive bite to them. But if you like this for that V-bar on top, then I think it's going to be a great option. As far as the installation goes, it's pretty straightforward, but if you need a hand with that, just stay tuned and we'll show you how to do it. Now, to start off our installation, I just recommend laying out your chains so you can take a look at them and getting on some gloves so you don't scratch up your hands at all. And I recommend doing this at home for the first time because you don't want to have to figure this out on the side of the road in a blizzard. We want to make sure none of these links are damaged or twisted up. And we also want to make sure that these hooks are going to be facing up because we don't want them making contact with the tire itself. And then we want to make sure our cams are furthest away from our tire. And with that, when that looks good, all you have to do is lift up on your chains and drape them over. Just like this. Just lock it over and kind of fix everything up until it looks good. Now what you want to do is come on the back side of it and grab your links and this metal hook and run this hook through one of those links. We're going to want this pretty tight, so kind of take a guess at how far you want to go. It's just depending on how tight it is on the side. But you don't want to put it too tight because you're going to have to come around to the other side and tighten it from there too. And there we go. And the front side is going to be the same process, but it's going to be a lot easier since you don't have to get underneath there. And you want to make sure this gets pretty tight. And from this point, we just want to tighten these cams with our included tool. And how you do that is just by sticking this flat part through this hole and just repeating that process for each one of them. Now what I recommend doing is grabbing a rubber tensioner. If you don't have one at home, you can actually find that on our website. And the way you want to put it on here is kind of the same way you would put on lug nuts, just going up from the furthest one from each other. And you want to make sure when you put these hooks on that the hooked part is facing away from your tire because you don't want to puncture it. Now I just recommend grabbing your chains, pulling them some, making sure they're not too loose. And when they look pretty snug, just repeat that same process on the other side. But after that, you can take it out for a ride. But if you liked everything you saw today, that was just a look at the installation and some of the features of our Glacier Chains tire chains with V-bar links on them on a 2021 Ford Explorer.